the pleasure of introducing one of our tenants. Jim Benson is GE Lighting Leader for Global Marketing on the professional side of the business. He joined GE in 1996 and has worked in GE's energy appliances and lighting business. Jim has over 8 years of experience leading commercial teams at both GE and the Hoover Company, where he led product management and marketing. In his current role, Jim leads GE's lighting marketing team to develop and execute a comprehensive global marketing strategy that transforms the GE Lighting brand from the best supplier to the leader in intelligent environments via LED software-defined lighting. He reports to Kathy Stereo, the business chief marketing officer, a native of Canton, Ohio. Jim holds a Bachelor of Science degree in both finance and economics from the Ohio State University in Columbus. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Benson.
I am Jim Benson. I'm here today to kind of talk to you a little bit about what we're doing in the Internet of Things. I want to thank One Community for hosting this event, inviting us to come speak. I'm part of a team here in Cleveland, Ohio, that's working with cities to really try and help them build the intelligent infrastructure of the future. We do that through what we call software-defined lighting. And we're doing that and then enabling them to solve some of their toughest challenges. And cities really do have some very tough challenges. When you think about our cities of the future, today it's estimated in the world that 54% of the world lives in city areas. That's going to grow by 2050 to 66%. And we're going to go from 7 billion people on this planet to 9 billion people. Both of those are going to create a tremendous amount of stress on our system and infrastructure for our cities. So we need to start thinking about what we're going to do about those cities to try and help the urban mobility and the other issues we're going to face today. You think about it, I even experienced some this morning, hopefully you guys didn't. I wanted to get here early because I had a couple conference calls I needed to do. But I ran into traffic on the way here. I ended up getting here late. Then I did a typical circle for me, about 3 blocks around trying to find a parking spot. Imagine if instead, this morning when I wanted to get here, put in my location, I was able to see the parking spots that were available, reserve it, and then it would give me turn-by-turn navigation to get exactly from my house to that spot. Imagine if then, it sensed that accident on 271 and rerouted me so that I could get here without experiencing any delays. That's what we're talking about in an intelligent city, and that's what we want to build in the future. And you think about, luckily today the weather wasn't too bad, a little drizzly, but all we have to do is ask our friends from Boston and Snowmageddon about the severity of weather and the dramatic variability that we're seeing these days. We need to figure out how to address those issues as well. So, obviously, what's the answer to some of those problems? Right. So how are we going to realize the Internet of Things? I love that theme, realizing the Internet of Things, because there's so much potential there and opportunity. We have to figure out how to take these things. The Internet of Things, intelligent machines, big data, those are all great and done well, they'll work well. But we have to take that last step of really getting the analytics side right so that you can come out with actionable intelligence that can allow us to improve the outcomes of either citizens, cities, buildings, whatever we're looking at. And so that's really where we're spending a lot of our time looking. When you think about it, you guys probably saw the speaker list and go, okay, so why is a 100-year-old lighting company coming talking about the Internet of Things? So really what's going on right now within the lighting industry is LED lighting, light-emitting diodes. Hopefully you guys are all starting to put them into your house. Tremendous energy savings. So that's one of the things that's happening. The other two things that are really driving our relevance within the Internet of Things, if you think about it, lighting's everywhere, right? It's in this building, it's out in the street, it's in our homes, and it's really that great collection point. It's also at the right height where you can add sensors to it and get all the data that you want to collect that big data. And so that's really kind of why we're becoming more relevant in this space, and why we feel that lighting actually is the most valuable real estate in the Internet of Things landscape. The other thing is, because of the 70% energy savings, because of the longer life, cities are all switching, homes, just like all of us, homes and buildings are switching to LED lighting. And so with that switch, you're already making an infrastructure play. So when you do that, take that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you're going to go in and change out all of your lighting to make sure it's intelligent and you're enabling the future. And that's really what we're excited about. So when you think about how do you actually do that? Well, I'm not an engineer. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so I'm going to make this really easy. So essentially what you do is you take that LED lighting fixture and add some more sensors to it. So you think about what's the biggest issue the city's facing, or the building, depending on who you're working with, and you really put sensors into that. So here you can see a few that we're talking about. Motion sensors, those are kind of the easy ones. So, if there's no one walking down the street at 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't need full brightness. So allow that occupancy and motion detection to really help save energy and make it a more safe environment. Once you do detect someone, bring the lights up even brighter than they normally would be. You think about video. So, that's the ability to help us find what parking spots are available, to sense that accident that happened. And how do you utilize those, again, to improve citizens' lives? Vibration, so this is a big one out in California, how do you use those to sense seismic activities? Environment, so, being able to get that, hyper-local weather information and CO2 emissions, so you can figure out where those CO2 emissions are actually happening and how do you go attack those and root cause corrective actions. So those are some of the things we're thinking about. But capturing that data is only the first step. Then you've got to have that software analytics side behind it to really, again, take that big data and make actionable insights out of it. And so with GE, we've invested $1 billion in our Software Center of Excellence. We've been working on software and analytics for a long time, machine to machines. We were started out with aircraft engines, so you can imagine the amount of data that we collect just on one flight across seas. And taking that data, for the airlines, it was huge to save just 1% on gas could save them hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And so we've been working at that for a long time, and our CEO made a big investment in San Ramon, California. And out of that, we developed a new software called Predix. It's a platform that we're utilizing to take all this big data, put it through this resilient, secure, and modern architecture to really help us drive that analytics that we need. So our theory behind this is what we're doing is we're working with some initial cities, San Diego being the first one. We've installed new LED lighting in their downtown area. They have essentially a mesh network where they can control the lighting, and now we're working with them on additional parking optimization is the first one we're going to work with them on. And so we're actively engaged in that and talking to a lot of other cities. The plan for us is to actually go into the city and help them develop some of the first initial apps based on their biggest pain point. And then from that, we want to open it up into a network, open network, where entrepreneurs like in this room can go in and help the city solve other problems. Utilize that data and build into it, so essentially build like the iTunes store for data analytics. So I'm going to give you a little example of kind of how this is going to work. So imagine that a city could go in through a secure network, the city manager can go in to see what's going on in their city. So they could go in and see, this is exactly what's happening in my city. They can drill down into any of those points. We've laid out 5 kind of different things you can look at here. The first one's lighting. So they can go into any one of these points and see how many watts they're using, if they're on, if they're off, broken. So no longer do they have to wait for the city or a citizen to complain about this light outside my window is not working, or it's shining in. They can go take care of that. Think about parking optimization. I talked about, you could go reserve that space, but also the city could figure out, where's someone double parked? Where is there violations? If we go clean up, we can help improve the traffic. Think about other traffic. Again, instantaneously know and let first responders know where accidents happen before a 911 call even happens. Really monitoring analytics and trying to figure out traffic count, what's going on, so that the city, when they make infrastructure investment, to really do this for the cities, they can do that in a very wise way and make sure the dollar goes as far as they can. If you think about surveillance, we just talked to a city recently that said one of the big problems they have is illegal dumping. They go and spend millions of dollars a year cleaning up these sites, only to have people come back and dump again. What if we were able to stop that dumping before it even happened, before the city spent a dime? And then you think about environmental. What if you had that hyper, accurate information about the weather, about pollution? How can we utilize that to really make the city a better place to live? So I talk a lot today about intelligent cities and how this mesh network of systems is really going to help cities, but we're also working on intelligent buildings and intelligent homes as well. On the building side, what we're looking at is fixtures like these, where inside of them we have a video camera to do video analytics. We have Bluetooth beacons so that you can get more information if you've opted into an app. Also a visual light communication, another system through pulsing that we can track and provide more information. So you think of a retailer, one of the big issues they have is everybody's buying things online, so they have much lower foot traffic in their stores. So they're really struggling trying to figure out how can I make shopping a better experience. And so, we have some pilots going on where, if you come in and you've opted into their app, they can greet you. You could have downloaded your shopping list, and you could go through and find that navigation like that throughout the store. If you wanted to find out reviews on particular products, you could do that. The store, if they saw that you bought tennis shoes, could send you a $20 off coupon or promotion to buy a fitness watch. So there's a lot of opportunities, and then the retailer could also, see when there's a queue in the front of the store, so they can send up more cash registers, so that, you can get through the store faster. So a lot of things like that, you can imagine, that was a retail example, but in hospitals and in hotels, a lot of applications we're excited about. And then in the home too, if you think about it, you can control all of your lighting in your home through smartphone. Also, your phone will sense when you're getting close, and it can, depending on how you have it programmed, it can, get that lighting to right where you need it. We're also powering in the harness of light in step with your circadian rhythms to try and help make sure, when you wake up in the morning that you have more exposure to more blue light to really try and get that circadian rhythm going. And then at night, help you wind down to more yellow lights so that you can get better sleep patterns at night. So these are a lot of things that we're doing through light and we're really excited about. A world in which LED lighting enables an intelligent city, where data is available instantaneously, where your smartphone will allow you to get a parking spot downtown, pay for it, and get turn navigation to it. Where congestion is a thing of the past, because we're able to reroute people depending on what's going on inside the city. Imagine a city where they can eliminate cost redundancies, really get the most asset utilization, and make a city where it's much more livable, workable, and sustainable. Thank you very much.